This is the reason why I never wrote a solo piano piece, because I don't know how to play experimental on the piano. So I don't think you can come up with anything new on the piano anymore. It will sound either like some kind of romantic or classical music, or like Steve Reich, or like Stravinsky, or like Arvo Pärt. What else can you write on piano? It doesn't have quarter tones. If I ever come up with a new music piece on the piano, I can be considered as a genius, officially. Actually, at that moment when I heard that there is a possibility to study composition, it became clear for me that I want to be a composer. It was just like this one moment, the first thing I heard that you can study. Because before that, as many people think, I thought as well that to be a composer you have to be born to be a composer, as if you are born and you start writing music as soon as you can get the pen. Somehow, from somewhere, it comes to you. But of course, now being composer for very long, I realized that it's you can be very musical and you can have great skill, but the skill needs to be developed. And if you're lucky to have parents who are musicians who will develop your talent, you can start writing symphonies very early. But if you are not lucky to have musician parents, but if you still have a skill, you can start studying when you are 15 or 20 or 25. It's never late to start becoming a composer. I mean, you don't have to be 4. Walking opera came to mind last year because a problem of bringing new music to the new audiences is not only my own problem. I think this problem is being discussed and talked about by almost all the composers who acknowledge that contemporary classical music, let's say, became very, very narrow niche. I came up with this idea to actually, after have given series of workshops, to go around the spaces where the workshop happened and to connect those spaces as well as spaces of the other performances in the festival through the walk. So that was the initial idea, while using the sounds of the recordings from the workshops. When I started working on it, then of course I started become quite inspired with actual idea of the sound walk as well, and I created, together with my team of opera singers, I created a story, and there became a storyline. There became idea that the people who will come on the walk, that they will also become a participant, so that there isn't really a main character. The main role given to the person who attends the opera, so they're being given a task to ask a question, and then they are as if they are sent on the journey to find answer to that question. Depending on what we worked on in the workshops and what people came up with during the workshops, those scenes will be set in the walk later on. And let's say some characters might appear in the walk because somebody invented them in the workshops. Only when the piece is completely finished and written on the music sheet, I think the details are laid down and the piece is there, and then I can forget about it, because the performers, when they play it, they will produce it. But then before it's done, while I'm working on it, I have to remember. And yeah, it's it's a tedious work. I think if I wasn't a composer, I would love working anything. I like working physical jobs. I kind of like doing stuff, and when you can see the result. But like, I think because I always had this in the back of my mind that I want to be a composer full time, doing anything else seemed like, oh, when can I stop it?